Are you looking for the best laptops for music production? In this video we will look at some of the best laptops for music productions. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 5. Microsoft Surface Pro 11th Edition. If you like the versatility of 2-in-1 tablets, consider the Microsoft Surface Pro 11th Edition, 2025. Like previous Surface Pros, the design hasn't changed much, as it's still a tablet PC with a built-in kickstand and a detachable keyboard. In fact, you can even use the type-cover keyboards made for the Microsoft Surface Pro 8, 2025, and the Surface Pro X. If you don't mind spending a bit more, the type cover is a separate purchase. Microsoft has released a new Flex keyboard, which sports a haptic touchpad and Bluetooth connectivity. The latter lets you use the keyboard even when detached from the tablet, giving you more freedom to position the device or the keyboard to your liking. The most significant change in this 2024 model is the new Qualcomm Snapdragon SoC. Though not the first Surface Pro to feature an ARM-based chip, Microsoft seems committed to making it work this time with its new Prism emulation. That said, because music production apps and peripherals are more specialized, compatibility might be an issue, so it's best to check that everything works first. You can choose between an IPS or OLED panel, but the display choice depends on the SoC. The Snapdragon X Plus model sports the IPS panel, while the Faster X Elite model sports the OLED. The OLED will give you deeper blacks, however, its digitizer creates a screen door effect, which some may find distracting. If that's a deal breaker, go for the X Plus model, but keep in mind that the X Plus chip is slower. Number 4. ASUS Vivobook 16M1605. The best budget laptop for music production we've tested is the Asus Vivobook 16M1605, 2025. Like our mid-range pick, the Acer Swift Go 14, 2025, this is also an ultra-portable. It has a larger 16-inch screen, so you can see more of your tracks in timeline or keep your tools on the sides for easy access. You still get a nice keyboard, a large touchpad, and decent performance from its AMD Ryzen CPU. Its fingerprint sensor allows you to log in quickly, and its battery lasts around 8 hours of light use. Ports include 3 USB-As, a USB-C, not Thunderbolt 4 or USB 4, sadly, and an HDMI. As this is a budget model, there are a few compromises. First, the display only gets to about 250 candelas per square meter at full brightness, which is fine for most indoor settings but not for sunny environments or outdoors in broad daylight. Next, the USB-C port doesn't support video output, meaning you can only use the HDMI port to connect to an external monitor. Lastly, you can only get 8 GB of memory. If you want 16 GB, you must upgrade it via the empty SODIMM slot. Number 3. Acer Swift Go 14. If you want a more affordable mid-range model, check out the Acer Swift Go 14, 2025. Configurable with up to an Intel Core Ultra 9185H CPU, this 14-inch ultra-portable packs plenty of processing power to handle most music production workloads. You can get up to 32 GB of RAM and 2 TB of storage. The RAM is soldered, so get enough for your needs up front. As for storage, there are two M.2 2280 slots, so you can easily store thousands of tracks and various audio files, eliminating the need for an external drive. Port selection is outstanding. You get 2 USB-As, 2 USB-C/Thunderbolt 4s, an HDMI, a microSD card reader, and a headphone jack. Display options include an FHD plus IPS or a 2.8K OLED panel. Both get bright enough for use in most indoor settings. Just remember that the OLED is susceptible to permanent burn-in and will drain the battery faster. Speaking of battery life, the Core Ultra 7 with an FHD display we reviewed lasts around 11 hours of light use, enough to comfortably get through a typical workday, and you can charge the laptop via USB-C. Fan noise isn't too bad at around 47 dBA under load, and there's an app to adjust the fan speed if it really bothers you. Number 2. Apple MacBook Air 15. Looking for the best laptop for DJing or music production but don't want to pay an arm and a leg for the MacBook Pro? Check out the Apple MacBook Air 15, 2025. Although it isn't as powerful as the Apple MacBook Pro 14, 2025, above, it's still fast enough to handle music production. Plus, as a fanless device, you don't need to worry about fan noise ruining your recordings. It has a large 15-inch Retina display, not mini LED, sadly, and its build is just as premium and sturdy as its Pro siblings. RAM isn't user replaceable, so get enough for your needs up front. Unfortunately, its port selection is limited to 2 USB-C/Thunderbolt 3s, and you can only connect 2 external displays with the lid closed. We recommend the HP OmniBook Ultra Flip 14, 2024, for Windows users. Configurable with Intel's Lunar Lake CPUs, this premium 2-in-1 convertible can go toe-to-toe with the MacBook Air performance-wise. It has cooling fans, but they're barely audible, reaching a mere 42.8 dBA under load. Unlike the MacBook, you can upgrade the storage drive yourself, as it uses a standard M.2 2280 NVMe SSD. The overall user experience is just as good as the MacBook, just know that its OLED display flickers, which might bother some people, causing eye strain. Number 1. Apple MacBook Pro 14. The best laptop for music production we've tested is the Apple MacBook Pro 14, 2025. This exceptionally well-built device has plenty of processing power for even the most demanding music production workloads. Its mini LED display gives you ample space to see all of your tracks and tools, and its wide port selection lets you plug in multiple peripherals, like your production station, keyboard, audio interface, etc. There's even a high-output headphone jack for hard-to-drive producing/mixing cans. One downside is that you'll be paying for graphical performance you don't necessarily need in music production on the Pro and Max models. Topping out at 47 dBA, the fans aren't overly loud but still loud enough that your mics could pick it up. If you want more screen space and don't mind paying more, get the larger Apple MacBook Pro 16, 2024. It's the same device but with better sounding speakers. For Windows users, we recommend the Lenovo ThinkPad P1 Gen 7, 2025, also a premium workstation laptop that can handle intensive workloads. Unlike the MacBook Pro, this model is available with integrated graphics only, so you don't have to pay for performance you don't need. CPU options range from an Intel Core Ultra 5 to an Ultra 9, and you can get up to 64 GB and 8 TB of storage. You get plenty of space on its 16-inch screen to place your tools, making them easily accessible, as well as a large, easy-to-use haptic touchpad. Its outstanding port selection includes 1 USB-A, 3 USB-C, 2 with Thunderbolt 4 support, an HDMI 2.1, and an SD card reader. Like the MacBook Pro, fan noise also reaches 47 dBA under load, so you'll have to be careful where you place your microphone when recording.